Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my daily video blog. We are on day 17 of the blog, and it is my 61st day of social distancing. It's hard to believe that this is the third Saturday of what day is today. Laura was making a suggestion the other day about a tidbit I could include in the vlog, but then said, maybe you should save that for our anniversary. Our anniversary, I said. Our anniversary is on the 25th of May. That still kind of seems like a long time away. Will I still be doing this every day come May 25th? We'll just have to see. One day at a time, everyone. One day at a time. Today's daily prayer for peace country is Dominica. You're invited to watch the Community of Christ Daily Prayer for Peace on the church's Facebook page at 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time today and every weekend. Or take a moment today to just meditate on peace. Remember the Community of Christ Daily Prayer for Peace country of the day. Today that's Dominica. And remember that there's a world out there. Tiona has another book recommendation ready for us. The book today is called, and you might want to write this down, Up, Up and Away, The Kid, the Hawk, Rock, Vladdy, Pedro, Le Grand Orange, Youpi, The Crazy Business of Baseball, and the ill-fated but unforgettable Montreal Expos. Got that? Let me give it to you one more time. That's Up, Up and Away, The Kid, the Hawk, Rock, Vladdy, Pedro, Le Grand Orange, Youpi, The Crazy Business of Baseball, and the ill-fated but unforgettable Montreal Expos. The book is by Jonah Carey, published in 2014 by Penguin Random House. Tiona says, this book is about the history of the Montreal Expos, not surprisingly given the title. I kept on saying for a long time, says Tiona, that I needed to cheer for the Toronto Blue Jays when they weren't playing against my home team, the Kansas City Royals. People in my family kept getting annoyed at me for saying that, even though I am Canadian, since everyone on my dad's side of the family grew up in Quebec. Apparently, Dad and Uncle Adam grew up as Montreal Expos fans. That's true. I borrowed this book, says Tiona, from Uncle Adam. I need to give it back because I've had it for quite a while and have read it at least 2 or 3 times. What I most like about the book is the beginning, when he tells the story of the hurry to get the stadium built and to get players for the team very quickly because the season was about to start. The Kid is my favorite player from the team, I think, even though I didn't grow up in Montreal and wasn't around back then. The Kid's name was Gary Carter. He was signed up to play quarterback for the UCLA football team. I like baseball better than football, says Tiona. They managed to get him for half the money they thought he would demand, partly by spreading rumors to other teams that he was too interested in football and that he was coming off an injury anyway. He ended up being really important to the Expos. They were training him as a catcher, but they were also training someone else, so he was spending a lot of time in the outfield. But he kept getting injured out there because of his enthusiasm. He ended up as the catcher and the real leader on the field. When I was reading this book, says Tiona, I kept telling friends at school random facts about baseball and about the Expos. Some of my friends got annoyed with me, but one commented that I was like a walking encyclopedia. What I don't like about the Toronto Blue Jays is that when their team was founded, a long time after the Expos already existed, they stole a lot of the Expos fans. Radio and TV people in Ontario only paid attention to the Toronto Blue Jays, and so they took away not only fans, but also money from the Expos. So soon enough, the team went away. Technically, says Tiona, they moved to Washington, D.C., but not really, because they weren't the Montreal Expos anymore. Okay, it's time for my daily check-in with someone from somewhere in the world that I serve in my work with Community of Christ. We'll get back out into the outer reaches of my field soon enough, but I thought you might be interested to hear about a very important colleague of mine named Don Paget. Don works at Community of Christ International Headquarters as a human resources generalist and accounting support specialist for multi-nations. That means Dawn does not need me to remind her that there's a world out there. Her job keeps her connected with that world every day as she, together with Blair White, form the international services team at the temple. Dawn supports employees all around the world on human resource matters, helping to move money around, doing payroll, managing benefits, reimbursing healthcare expenses. That means she's involved in very important stuff, often meeting people in their most vulnerable of moments and helping to get people through those difficult times. Dawn's also been on the front lines as we've had to work through budget and staff reductions in recent years. I've actually known Dawn for a long time. We first met that summer I showed up at our church historic sites in Nauvoo, Illinois as an intern in the summer of 1990. That's where I met my wife, Laura, but Dawn was there that summer too. Dawn and I kind of lost track of each other for a few years, but in 2013, Dawn came back into my world, working at international headquarters for Community of Christ. She started just before World Conference, which was a very busy time for the International Services Department. Dawn remembers that it was like baptism by fire, starting Community of Christ employment at that particular moment. She started as a bookkeeper, but since then, Dawn's responsibilities have grown to the point that most matters multi-nations pass through her department. She works closely in support of the Council of 12 assigned outside the United States. I asked Dawn how things were going with the pandemic. She quoted the sticky note that she has on her computer monitor given to her a year ago when she was trying to finish her seminary degree while simultaneously going through another world conference. The note says, "It will all be okay." Dawn's been working from home since the middle of March. She says that 95% of what she does is online anyway, so it works okay. She has made a couple of trips to the temple because doing month-end and payroll requires the extra monitors, scanners, and tech that she has at the office. Dawn says that the pandemic has meant there have been more wire transfers and oblation dollars to get out to various parts of the world. She observes that most of the world is on various forms of lockdown. It was rather remarkable to try to keep up with Dawn's train of thought as she quickly commented on half the countries in the world in response to my question about how folks seem to be doing. Dawn lives in Smithville. That's a town of under 10,000 people north of Kansas City. She says that working from home has actually been a nice time of slowing down. She no longer has an hour and 20 minutes of commuting to do every day. She does really miss the gym, but she's pulled out her old dumbbells and is walking her dog every day, even tackling some good long paths up around the nearby lake. Her husband and one son who've been laid off by Ford have been going fishing. Dawn says that they're feeling very fortunate to be okay financially during a time that she knows has been very difficult for many. Dawn is normally a very active person in her congregation. Just before the shutdown, she was ready to bring the youth group to a local community services center, Central Avenue of Hope, to help serve food to the homeless. They had gathered supplies of toiletries to support their showers for the homeless program. But all that has had to wait as everything shut down abruptly. Dawn's on the pastorate for her congregation, and she says that people are really anxious to see each other again. Dawn is always so positive, so I knew it would be great visiting with her. She's a dedicated mom, congregational leader, and disciple in Community of Christ. Dawn's one of those people whose picture you might not find on the World Church website. You won't see her sitting on the rostrum at World Conference. But when you contribute to World Mission Ties, you're allowing this faithful and dedicated disciple to help us keep the church engaged in mission all around the world. You would love Dawn, and you should feel good that you support her in her work. Okay, it's time for our big daily announcement. Da 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 da. Now in this moment, now in this day, but the question is, what day is today? Wait for it. Today is Saturday.
Yay!
Yay, Saturday. I think I'm starting to hear a few other people cheering, yay, Saturday. It's catching on. I didn't want to mention, even though I know many of you have your own local Sunday activities online, if you have a chance tomorrow, do check out the special joint online service between Toronto's Beyond the Walls and Portsmouth, Ohio Welcoming Community. Justin from Portsmouth is a great friend, super engaged in working for justice in his community. I see that the Beyond the Walls Worldwide Choir will be singing that Community of Christ favorite hymn, For Everyone Born. So check that out. Watch live tomorrow at noon Eastern Time, or find the archive on YouTube or Facebook. I'll put a link in the description. Okay, well, I'm not going to keep you much longer than that. I'm hoping to be back again tomorrow with another What Day Is Today video blog. Again tomorrow, I'll remind you of the Daily Prayer for Peace Country of the day. Tiona will have another book recommendation, and I'm looking forward to checking in and reporting on a check-in with another person to update you on how they're doing. By the way, if there are any old Montreal Expos fans out there, or if you have a great Expos story, please post something for Tiona in the comments. If you happen to have an old Expos cap kicking around, do post a selfie with that. Okay, so, yeah, I don't know if they get YouTube in the hereafter, but Gary Carter passed away in 2012, so you never know. I hope you liked Tiona's tribute. I'm sure Tiona's Uncle Adam is glad to know that Tiona's now a fan of The Kid. Okay, so I'm signing off for now from my home in Independence, Missouri. Please, until tomorrow, remember to breathe.